Don't be nervous. She's really excited to meet you.
Okay.
Oh, and don't forget to take off your shoes when you go in. Hey mom, I'm home. I have my boyfriend here. 我男朋友.男朋友. Taya.
Miss M, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. 你點解帶個鬼佬返屋企啊?
What?
Oh, she means it's so great to meet you in person.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you too.
點解佢鼻哥咁大啊? Oh, she says please make yourself feel at home.
What if, and just hear me out for a second, you shut them.
Hey, we should go eat. I was thinking sushi. That's too spicy for you? When did I have my first kiss? I've never kissed anyone before. When did you have yours? When you were 5 years old? Astaghfirullah. What the hell? Who are you texting I love you to? Oh, your mom? You say I love you to your mom? Can you meet my parents? No. Maybe like in 5 years, minimum. Have you ever considered using a tanning bed? Call me exotic one more time and watch what happens.
Whenever I post my white fiance on social media, I always get comments that say Oxford study. It is 2024. I think everyone has the right to date whoever they want to date, whether it's an Asian woman with a white man or a Asian man with a white woman. Honestly, I find this more depressing than hurtful that men in our culture feel the need to comment this. It really does come across as obsessing over preserving culture and blaming women for the decline in homogenous relationship. I think we need to start by addressing problems in our own cultural community rather than putting Asian women down. Have you thought about where these tropes come from, aka military imperialism is one of them?
Hey, excuse me, is it true that you people only like white men?
What the hell? What do you mean, you people?
Asian girls.
No, that's a disgusting stereotype.
There was literally an Oxford study that proves that Asian women love white men. It's science.
No, that study was about something completely different.
You read studies? I'm not buying that. You're a woman.
I may be a woman, but I'm also an Asian, so I'm smart. That study wasn't even about real-life interracial relationships. It was about media depictions of how they can perpetuate stereotypes that Asian women are submissive and hypersexual, which isn't even necessarily true.
Yeah, I didn't listen to any of that. Do you like white men or not?
Well, I do, but that's just a coincidence.
Want to come back to my place and let me colonize you?
It's kind of funny. Okay.
So I feel like I've gotten a lot of videos on my For You page recently talking about like the Oxford study or whatever, how, you know, hot ass Asian girls are always with mid-white men, and people are like, why is this happening? Like, yo, Oxford really got to get on this study because like we got to study why this is happening. Guys, it's very simple. Let me explain. So a little backstory. I was born and raised in suburban Massachusetts, which, shocker, is not the most diverse of places. Like, I remember we did have a few Asian people in my high school, but I remember in elementary school, like, I was one of probably only 3 Asians in my grade, and one of them was my cousin, so he doesn't count. So really there was only one other Asian person in my grade in elementary school, and the rest of the people were just like white. Just like pretty much like 95% of the people there were white. So like whenever I went to school, the people I thought were cool in school, the people I thought were hot in school, the people I had crushes on or whatever, tended to be white. From a probability standpoint, like that's probably gonna happen if your school's 95% white. Now this coupled with the fact that back in the day, we didn't have any Asian American representation in popular media, like whatsoever. There were no Asian Americans in TV shows, there were no Asian American in movies, there were no Asian American like music artists, there were no even like Asian American politicians. YouTube was like the only place where you saw Asian Americans gaining any form of notoriety whatsoever. So imagine you live in a world where like the people in your life that you think are cool, the people in your life that you think are attractive, the people in your life that you think deserve respect tend to be white people because, you know, you live with a bunch of white people. People that are like glorified or glamorized in popular media also tend to be white people because we live in a society. Of course you're gonna end up thinking white men are attractive. Like that's only natural. Because I think people forget that like back in the day, that's the world we lived in. Whenever Asian American men appeared in TV shows or movies, like the few times they did, it was to portray like a nerdy, undesirable archetype that Hollywood directors thought was like the best thing that Asian people could do. I really wanted to sing when I was a kid, honestly. I wanted to be like an artist, a singer. Now I wasn't that good, mind you. The reason I ended up sort of giving up on that very young is because in my mind, Asian Americans lacked legitimacy in those sort of cool, desirable positions because I had never seen that before in my life. Now, maybe if I'd, you know, gotten into K-pop back then, I would have thought a little different. But I didn't because I lived in America and I was consuming American media. Anyway, all this to say, I think like nowadays people forget that that's like the world we grew up in, like literally only 10 years ago, because nowadays Asian Americans, like we up, like we're on top, we're killing it. I don't know how else to say that. Like Asians are just like eating right now. So like people forget that that's the world I grew up in. That's the world like my generation grew up in. And so like, of course, you're gonna see a generation of Asian girls like feeding over mid-white men. It's just, that's bound to happen. Now, hopefully, kids that are growing up in today's environment, when they get to the age of like being in relationships and stuff, you're not gonna see this phenomenon anymore. Hopefully. But for the girlies like me that were conditioned way back in the day to find white men attractive, you gotta stop being surprised. It's gonna happen.
I have a message for Asian women that date white guys. As the biracial child of that kind of couple, I don't have anything against it. You know, you do you, who cares? I don't care who dates who, right? But did you know that if you have a daughter and your daughter goes outside with your white ass fucking husband, people are gonna think that they're together? Did you know that? And it will emotionally damage your daughter forever. To this day, I refuse to go to like a restaurant alone with my dad because I cannot emotionally recover from somebody referring to me as his wife one more time. So it's fine. It's fine that you date anyone that you want to, but just know that if you're an Asian woman and your partner is a white man, you're gonna have to go to restaurants with him and your children for the rest of everyone's natural life. Because my dad is fucking 80. And it would happen if I went somewhere with, I can't even go somewhere with him. He's 80 fucking years old. I walk into restaurants if I'm with my dad like this. Dad. That's how I walk in. That's the future for your kids. I'm just saying, it's fine. I'm just telling you how it's gonna go.
I do like dating white guys though. I know it's like such a cliche, like Asian girls dating white guys, but like, let me tell you, I do think like Asian girls like dating white guys, but it's not because white guys are better looking, right? Because Asian girls, we've also seen black guys. So I don't know, that's not what it is. But here's what I think. There is something that's like very attractive about white men. For a long time, I couldn't really put my finger on it, but now I think I figured it out. I think it's the fact that they've never suffered, right? Oh, it's so attractive. It's really charming. They just like are a little vacant behind the eyes, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's so soothing to be near them. They, I don't know, how would you describe it? They have like a bit of a puppy dog look. It's like they've never wandered outside a Wi-Fi zone, you know? So bright-eyed and beautiful.
Y'all need to learn how to leave women of color alone because this bullshit is literally just misogyny. Like, what relevance does this hold? I would like to know. Because who I date determines nothing. Whether or not I'm dating a white man does not validate or invalidate any of my lived experiences or anything that I say. Me dating a white person does not erase anything that I've gone through. Y'all think you have ownership over my identity, and you think you can base it off of my love life, which you know nothing about? I'm my own person. Who I date does not change that. But if y'all must know, I have never dated a white man before. I've never talked to a white man. I've never been romantically involved with a white man in my life. And I don't plan on it.
I've gotten a handful of messages or comments from people in the Asian community. It's usually the men who are upset that I chose to marry a white guy. And while I know that this is not personal, it has nothing to do with me. This is their own view of the world, their own hurt, unprocessed trauma. I would like to clarify because I don't like when people make assumptions, not just about me, but just in general. In life, making assumptions is not an intelligent thing to do. I also like clarity, so I am going to let you know what I think. I chose my husband because I chose my husband. Yes, I did find him attractive, and he's white. I find lots of different men attractive. I have dated across the board in terms of ethnicity and race. And you know what? It doesn't matter what ethnicity it is. If I find you attractive, I find you attractive. My husband, we met at the right time. We have similar values. We wanted to go in the same direction in life. We grew up really similarly. and that's why I married him. So if you have a problem with that, like, I'm not telling you who you should date and who you should love. Go for it. Do whatever you want. Maybe do some introspection. Why is it so triggering for you that a stranger chooses to love someone? Why is that so triggering for you?
Okay, so let's be honest. Vivian, how many white men have you been on a date with?
0, actually. I think the comment is more referring to you. But she's been with 0 white men.
Okay, what is the ethnicity of all my exes?
Korean.
No, can you just say Asian?
Oh. I thought you wanted me to name each one.
No, don't
But
name.
you're just like 4 Koreans and like 1
Can you
bit,
not?
so.
Okay, bye.
You have a crush?
Yes.
Can I see your crush, please?
He's a white boy, so don't laugh about it, okay?
I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again, but the best couple in the world is a white man and a Chinese girl. Why this dynamic works so well is because there's family pressure Olympics. The Chinese family is gonna say, go be a doctor, and the white family is gonna say, just be happy. Yin and yang. I know because that's how I was made. That's why they work so well together, because they're always opposing sides, and eventually they all come and meet in the middle because they want to fuck. When she finally gets a taste of that white sausage, she's gonna be in awe. White guys make you come, and in the Asian culture they don't do that as much. They usually care about their own orgasms first. That's why you see so many Chinese women, white male, Thai woman, white male. They don't want to go back. They want to come.
Okay, so this is how you do it. We love you, we love you, we love you. You didn't even let me do anything yet. Like this, if you love me, I will love you back. So you like the way I inhale oxygen?
Your first guest would be a white boy. We all know how you white worshipping Asian girls love us white boys. And us white guys love you Asian girls. Let's unpack it, shall we?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where to start. I guess, like, I can kind of understand the stereotype.
Mhm.
Not saying that I validate it or I want to reinforce it. I
Mhm.
think for me, like, growing up in Asia, there was a lot of judgment amongst Asian people whenever there was an Asian mom that was married to a white husband.
Yeah, of course.
It was a lot about, like, oh, they're obviously married because she is very submissive and obedient and cute and gentle, and
Yeah.
he has money and power and like all this stuff. And so it was
Mhm.
very judgy all the time, especially if
Mhm.
there was an age gap.
Story time on my first ever date with a white boy while I wait for my manager to get ready before we go out.
So this boy DMs me on Instagram and he's a 6'3" model, but he's a white boy and I usually don't go for white boys. You know, I like my Asian rice wine.
And I'm not in my Hinge era anymore, so you know, I was jumping for joy when I found out that someone wanted to take me out who's not from Hinge.
Oh, you look cute!
Oh, really? I don't know what to wear.
So he plans the date. He's like, okay, we're gonna go to a cafe, then we're gonna go on a walk in Central Park, and then go get sushi after. You know, like, my dream date. So I get to the cafe like 5 minutes late. And you know, that's like normal, right? Like, girls are supposed to be late on the first date.
So then he's like, let's go on a walk in Central Park. So we do our little walk, you know, but I'm carrying the fucking conversation.
Like, this guy has a personality of a fucking brick. Mid-walk, he makes some lame excuse and goes, oh no, I just got a text from J. Crew. I have to go to a casting call. Like clearly acting ain't for you and you should stick to modeling.
So our sushi date never happened. So then I called my manager to come get sushi with me.
And then he has the audacity to fucking text me, hey, it was nice meeting you, like, we should do this again sometime.
And I didn't respond because I was with my manager. And then he fucking unfollows me on Instagram. But yeah, I was really bummed because I was looking forward to my first ever date with a white boy. But you know, if you want to change my mind, any white boys in New York, say what's up. You done yet? Let me put on these lashes.
Are you dating a white man? No. Who's white man? Are you dating a white man? What's a white man? A Caucasian man. It's a yes or no, babes. I'm gonna take a bite, okay? Got him! Got him! Got him! Got him! Got him! Got him! Yo. Let me tell you about the Oxford study that took over the Haas sisters. No more kimchi. No more kimchi. No more kimchi for dinner. More like mac and cheese and potatoes. 안녕하세요? No.
Asian girls and more broadly non-white girls who only date white guys is forever going to be a sign of Eurocentrism to me. These girls are always going to frame their attraction to white guys as just a preference, but social psychology has proven to us time and time again that preferences are never free of societal influence. This pattern exists because of things like cultural conditioning from a young age in media, advertising, historical narratives that we've been shown present these white features, behaviors, and lifestyles as the standard of beauty and desirability. So over time, these messages are going to shape what people and what these girls perceive as attractive. Colonial legacies and historical oppression can make these dominant group traits feel more valuable or affirming, while one's own racial traits are undervalued in comparison. So when you choose a partner from this dominant racial group, you're unconsciously signaling social approval or status, which reinforces this preference. It being just a preference is never going to be justifiable to me, because even from a purely biological standpoint, it's really unusual. Humans have always just been naturally drawn to traits similar to their own, so when somebody is out here saying that they're not attracted to their own racial group, you have to question whether societal pressures and this internalized messaging are shaping what they call quote-unquote preference. Dating white men can reflect this unconscious desire for social, economic, or cultural advantage because historically, once again, whiteness has been associated with access to resources, prestige, and broader social networks, which are all things that lots of women of color do not feel as though they're blessed with from birth. It's literally a type of psychological coping with this marginalization that you face the second that you're born into society. You are literally trying to cope against historical and contemporary marginalization. On a deep level, dating, and specifically dating white guys, can be a tool and a way to navigate a world that is always privileging whiteness by aligning themselves with power in the hope of safety and affirmation. Of course, this doesn't mean that all relationships are transactional. Like, not every girl is this calculated. For the most part, I would say people have no idea why their racial preference is the way that it is. They genuinely believe that it's just a physical attraction thing. But social psychology has shown us that people internalize cues about power and status when it comes to selection of their partner. So we can't ignore this either. And I get it, okay? I am also a person of color. I understand that you guys want to feel socially validated and culturally acceptable. And by aligning yourself romantically with somebody who embodies society's ideal, you're gonna feel more validated. I get it, but it's really important that you're not seeking affirmation of your worth through the approval and attention of someone from this historically dominant racial group, because you are just falling into the system that society has set you up in, which is not fair, because this system is inherently unfair. Our job as people of color is to push back on the stereotypes and the systemic discrimination that every child of color is forced into the second that they're born. So you might think that it's not harmful, but you're literally affirming this harmful system, which is not fucking fair. You can date white guys, but when you sit here and say that that's all you will date, that's weird. People are low-key probably going to say this is hypocritical, which is fair. My track record has been more white than not. But when I think about dating someone and how their race comes into play, whiteness is actually a disadvantage. Not because I'm some white-hating bitch. It's never been like that. It's just that me as a person, I've always really, really found value through cultural connection. And you lack that with a white partner. So of course, no fucking issue in having a white boyfriend. I don't care. I really don't, okay? You can like someone despite their race. But when you're gonna sit here and say that you refuse to date your own race, you refuse to date outside of white people, that's weird. That's when it becomes a problem. That's when you become a reflection of everything that's gone wrong in society.
What are some of the things that people say to you when you get those hater messages regarding who you married?
You know, she wants green card,
came
which I did. It makes me laugh, actually. I made a bit about it on my TikTok, and I said, I married him because I support charity. He didn't come from money. Like, he grew up in Harlan, Kentucky, the North Korea of America, and grew up in trailer. If I really wanted status, I wouldn't marry a hillbilly from middle of nowhere.
Because, like, okay, it's a thing that happens in the Philippines. You'll see, when you're in the Philippines, you'll see a lot of younger Filipinos with older white men. And what happens is they will marry these men, get a visa, go to the States, and then they'll, like, you know, go back, like, help their families in the Philippines, go back and forth, ship stuff. A lot of my family has done that. A lot of my mom's friends' families have done. It's literally like a culture thing. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. And
more things that were a culture shock for my boyfriend when he started dating me. Sitting and laying on the floor. I grew up laying on the floor, napping on the floor, being on the floor. Asians are floor whores, okay? When we moved in together, he would say all the time, we have chairs for a reason. Why are you on the floor? Part of it is convenience, and the other part of it is I genuinely just feel like my posture is better. He's still baffled by this one, but not understanding sarcasm or irony. I generally feel like a lot of American humor is like sarcasm, irony, unique context, or some deeper level there, versus all the Asian comedies and dramas I watched growing up. The humor was very like on the surface, punny, roasty. Actually, some of our smaller arguments would be because he'd tell a joke but it would go over my head, or I would take it really seriously. Going to multiple grocery stores at a time. Going grocery shopping for him is just like going to one store and getting everything and bouncing. Grocery shopping for me and my family means going to Costco because this thing is 10 cents cheaper there, and going to Safeway because this is cheaper there, to the point where we're probably going to 3 or 4 grocery stores. And yeah, it's probably a lot more inefficient, but that's how we roll, babes.
I feel like a lot of white men will make conversation by being like, oh, what ethnicity are you? Which for me in itself is fine. I'd be curious too, so I don't really care. But I'll tell them and they'll frequently be like, that's a good mix. As opposed to what? What's the bad one?
I grew up in a mixed household, so thinking about my white side of my family versus my Vietnamese side of the family is absolutely hysterical to me. It is just complete polar opposites. Difference number 1, shoes. When I pull up to my Asian side of the family, you leave your shoes outside on the doorstep. If you even come in with them, don't worry, there's a mat for you, but everybody kind of looks at you weird. Like, your shoes are outside. In my white side of the family, we do not care. Okay, my boyfriend just called me, so I did a couple steps from my makeup routine on FaceTime, but second biggest difference definitely has to be the bluntness. My white side of the family is very proper, and we can get goofy on some levels, but like nothing compared to the unhingedness of my Asian side. Like, you have to have thick skin and we will roast the crap out of each other. It's almost to the point where if other people heard what my family and I said to each other, they would be like, but we all think it's funny and it works for our family. Okay, next we've got meal times. This one is my favorite because for both sides of the family, we love sitting down and eating together. It's very formal, and that's where it's similar for both sides. However, with my Asian side of the family, it is hot pot style. So we will have one big grill or one thing in the center, and everybody takes their chopsticks and picks things from the same thing. Totally not sanitary. And then whenever I go to my white side of the family, we always do the whole traditional, like, take your casserole, pass it to the next person, get the green beans, pass it to the next person. And it's very wholesome and cute. Fourth thing is music. My white side of the family is so talented. Everybody knows how to play piano. There's guitar, clarinet. My dad played trumpet. So we're very classical music family on my white side. On my Asian side, it is pull up to the house and we've got Asian karaoke going, or some Vietnamese pop music. Like, we love our karaoke over here. So keep in mind, I don't know a lick of Vietnamese. I only know Jai Ai, and that's because my family always says that around me. Okay, lastly, we have desserts. When my Ban Wai was alive, she would always have like sticky rice and fruits. That's kind of just like the Asian love language of giving sweets after dinner. At my white side of the family, we always have like elegant princess cake, bow tie cake, just, you know, all of the works. And I just feel very grateful that I've been able to experience both cultures because they are both truly so much fun, and I love both sides of my family.
Yes, technically my fiance and I are the same age, but I am Asian woman, wear sunscreen, and he is white man, no wear sunscreen. So we definitely have age gap aesthetic.